Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lauren, and today is episode 6 of the core conditioning series. For today's class, we're focused on spinal segmentation, which is exactly what it sounds like. This is all about core control or spinal segmentation control, mobilization of the spine and core through fluid movement, and as a result, gaining a deeper understanding of how your body moves in space through what's called proprioception. You may notice that I'm set up in a different spot of my house. So for today's class at the beginning, we're going to start at a wall. So find a blank wall space. You're also going to need a yoga block and a resistance band, a long resistance band. And if you don't have those things, first you can check the links in my description where I'll share below for some of my favorite Amazon storefront products that I love and use, and really good recommendations. But if you would like to take the class now and you don't have those things, you can substitute a book for the block, and you can substitute a scarf or a belt, something that's long, or even if you have a yoga strap, for that resistance band. And as always, hit that subscribe and like button so you can stay up to date on new classes and new content. Grab all the things that you need, and we're going to meet first here at the wall. Okay, so we're going to start first by finding the different segments of your spine. We're going to do this later with the resistance band, but I like to do this at the wall first because it's a little more of a solid structure. So you're going to grab that block and put it at your mid upper back to start with. So make sure that the shorter end is flat at the wall and the other shorter end is at your mid upper back. And I like to sit as I'm here with my feet planted, so I'm a little more sturdy and I have something to push into. Then you're going to give yourself a hug, grabbing hold of your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, try to press that part of your back into the wall as you tuck your chin to your chest. And then again, inhale. Exhale, push that part of your back into the wall. Do that 2 more times. So trying to just feel that segment of your spine, and you may notice certain areas are stiffer than others, maybe a little less fluid, and you may have less control as well. All right, so now we're going to move the block down just one section below where it was, okay? And we're going to do the same thing. So give yourself that hug, take a breath in. Exhale, round your back, try to draw that part of your spine into the block. And then again, inhale. And then exhale. And remembering from those previous videos that we don't want to move the breath up into the neck and shoulders, so we have a shallow breath. I want you to think about breathing around the rib cage. Do that twice more. One more time. And then come back to where you started. And again, move the block down just another section. Inhale here. Exhale, push that part of your back into the wall. One more time. And then come back to where you started. Again, move the block down another section. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Do that 3 more times. I'm trying to get about 4 to 5 total. I'm not the best at counting when I'm talking, so if I accidentally have you do 4 on one, 5 on the other, that's okay too. You can also just add an extra if you feel like you would like to hold at a spot maybe a tad bit longer. All right, I think that was 5. And then you're going to move down 1 more section. So you'll notice I'm not at my pelvis just yet, or actually maybe we can go 1 more below this, but I want to focus on not the pelvis and the sacrum, but above that. So the lumbar spine here. Okay, so take a deep inhale. Exhale, round your low back into the block. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Once more. All right, let's try to go for one more. And I'm right above my sacrum here. Take an inhale. Exhale, push. Push and round. This is a good way to kind of warm up your back for all the things that we're going to do for today's class. I think that was 3, so go for 2 more. And last one. And then come all the way back up. Remove the block. I'm starting to sweat already. Okay, so set that block to the side. And we're actually going to come up to stand and try to think almost like a cat-cow at the wall, but we're going to roll down and roll up. And then from there, we'll move to the mat. So now we're set up here at the wall, standing. My back is to the wall, including my shoulder blades and head. And my feet are away with my knees bent. Okay, so from here, I want you to segmentally roll down and up, trying to lift your vertebra off the wall one at a time and place your vertebra at the wall one at a time. At the beginning, you may notice your back is kind of stiff. Certain areas may come off in chunks instead of trying to come off individually. So give yourself some grace. And we're going to do this a couple times. So you'll notice it starts to get a little bit easier each try. Arms are by your side. Take a breath in. Slow exhale, chin to chest. Shoulders pull off the wall. Upper back. Mid back. Mid low back. Low back. All the way until you release your fingertips towards the floor. And then we're going to roll up just as slow and controlled here. So inhale, roll up, pressing your sacrum, your low back, your mid back, mid upper back, your shoulder blades, and your head and neck. Okay, let's do that a couple more rounds. Take it at your own pace. Do that one more time, going down and up. Lots of focus and concentration involved for this. Whew. And then from here, coming off the wall, and you may notice your back might be tired, like there's a lot of work involved, a lot of control involved, but we're not done yet. So from here, go ahead and set up at your mat, and I will meet you there. From starting at the wall, we gain an understanding of our body and space, and then now we're going to apply that here in the middle of the room. So for this portion of the practice, you're going to need a long resistance band like this. And if you don't have this, you can use a yoga strap or something that's long like this to gain external feedback and feel the segments of your spine here. So if you would like to purchase these, I will link in the description my Amazon storefront for some of my favorite suggestions. So you can either, if you have this, just keep it long and wrap it around the hands, putting it behind your back. But what I like to do is cut them and then tie it off on both ends so that you can put it around your hands, kind of just looping your hands through it. Okay, so come onto your hands and knees, and you're going to take the band to your mid upper back, just below your shoulder blades, and then pin it down with your hands. As you find your way into tabletop, you're going to start with a cow pose. So on your inhale, let this band press into that segment of the spine to assist you in this spinal extension. Then as you come into your cat pose, I want you to press that particular part of your spine up as high as you can. Round chin to chest. Good. You're going to do that a couple more times. So inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Do that twice more. One more. And then come back to a neutral spine. We're now going to move the band down a section below where that just was, so more in the mid part of your back. And then again, come onto your hands and knees. Inhale, cow pose. Let that segment of your spine kind of sink down with the assistance of the band. And then exhale, cat pose. Push the ground away, round your back, and try to press that part of your spine as high as you can. Do that, let's say, 3 more times. So we get about 4 cycles here. One more. And then come back to a neutral spine. You're going to move it down another section, so kind of your mid to low back region. And then again, let's take 4 rounds of cat-cow here. Now keep in mind, you can level this up, making it more challenging for yourself by having different colors of resistance band, which mean different resistance levels. I think for me, the green is on the higher end. The red is not as high of a resistance. So you can kind of play with that and challenge yourself to your comfortable level of ability. I think that was 4, so come back to neutral. Last spot, you're going to move it to your lower back, just below the rib cage. And you may notice as you go down or as you go up, it's more challenging. So you're going to gain a lot of information from doing this. Again, inhale, cow pose. Let the band assist you. Exhale, cat pose. Press into the band, round your back. What I like to do as the band is a little lower here is sit my hips towards the heels. It's going to create more resistance, and you're going to try to keep your back as rounded as you can. Do that 3 more times. And then come back to a neutral spine, and you can remove the strap or the band. All right, so now we're going to do a regular cat-cow, and we will also do a segmented cat-cow here. So let's start with regular. So inhale, cow pose, arch your back. May feel a little easier, right? Since we separated all those segments. Cat pose, just do that 2 more times, just to kind of feel the difference of when we're moving the spine as one big chunk versus when we're moving the spine individually. And then come back to neutral. So now we're going to segment the spine through cat-cow. It's a lot slower. It's a lot more controlled than your typical cat-cow. So from here, let's go into cat pose first. Round your back. Push the ground away. Okay. keeping everything the same. The only thing I want you to move is from your pelvis and your hips here. So you're going to tilt your tailbone upwards, the front of the pelvis down. Notice how the tendency is to start to lift your head. Keep the chin tucked. Then you're going to start to let the lower back arch, mid-low back. Keep pushing with those shoulders, mid-back, mid-upper back. Then let your shoulders start to pull back and down, and then finally lift your head up. Now we're going to go in the other direction. So the head towards the tailbone. So from here, tuck the chin to the chest. Then push with the shoulders, but notice how I'm not moving my upper back just yet. Then I'm going to start to round my upper back, my mid back. Try to keep the tailbone pointing up until the last second. Mid low back, and then finally curl the tailbone under. Let's do that 2 more times in each direction. Slow and controlled. Try to resist letting everything move as one big chunk. And you may feel like you're kind of fighting internally to try to maintain that control of movement. I think we got 1 more in both directions. Tilting the tailbone up first. And you may find it's easier to move in one direction than the other. Everything is feedback, information, to then being able to apply everything in action from a mindful and skillful place. And then come into child's pose for a moment, sitting your hips to the heels. You can take the arms forward or by the side. I personally like to take my knees together to get some nice lower back flexion, but it's up to you. And stay here for 2 deep cycles of breath. And then slowly roll up. All right, so finally, we're going to end with some thoracic cars. So getting the mid to upper part of your back to move as fluidly in a circular motion as possible. So this is going to involve some flexion of the spine, a little bit of rotation, lateral flexion, so sideways, and extension. So getting the spine to move basically in a full circle, okay? So you can do this sitting or you can do this standing. I'm going to do it sitting, but it's completely up to you. Now, from here, take the arms out wide. Inhale here. Exhale, right arm on top. Give yourself a hug. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, round your back, chin to chest, elbows towards your belly button. Inhale. Exhale, rotate your spine to your right. Think elbows to your right thigh. Good. And then you're going to start to side bend to your right. Keep breathing at your own pace. Think right shoulder to right hip. Good. You're going to arch your back, chest up, rib cage up. You're going to side bend to the left. Round your back, elbows to your left thigh. And then come through center, elbows to the belly button, chin to your chest. Trying to create as much flexion through your entire spinal column as possible. Inhale, unwind. Take those arms back out wide. We're going to go in the other direction. Exhale, left arm goes on top. Inhale here. Exhale, round your back, elbows to your belly button, chin to your chest. Inhale. Exhale, rotate your spine to your left thigh. Think like you're trying to pull your elbows towards the left thigh. Now you're going to keep breathing on your own, and you may notice naturally you'll want to inhale in between moving into each section. You're going to start to side bend to your left, left shoulder, left hip. Arch your back, chest up, rib cage up. Side bend to your right. Exhale, rounding your elbows towards the right thigh. And then coming back to center. Good. Unwind, reach your arms all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, release. Hands can rest to your thighs or in your lap. If you're sitting, if you're standing, you can just relax your arms by your side. I hope you enjoyed today's class, gaining a little bit more control of the core as far as segmentation and mobilization. And we're not done yet though. The next class will be the final 7th class of this series, and it's putting all the pieces together in a full core flow. So a longer format, but getting to kind of piece all the parts that you've focused on each video at a time in one entire class. As always, hit that subscribe and like button so you can stay up to date on new content and new videos. And for this class, share below in the comments of what you found challenging, what you enjoyed about the practice. I know for me, I enjoy what it feels like at the end, but the challenge is always, for me personally, that mid to low back area gets kind of stuck. But share what your challenges were, what you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time.